Thank you so much for joining me, Loren, and thank you for being a member of the Urban 27 community and an alumni of my Scale Your Side Hustle program. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about you and your side hustle and what got you interested in it.
Yeah, so I'll be celebrating a birthday here at the end of the month. I'm turning 26.
Congratulations.
So, so I'm a few years out of college now. I graduated with my degree in communication studies, but it's like not at all what I'm doing. So I got into finance after that, which I'm a financial service analyst right now. I'll actually be moving to Phoenix here in 11 weeks. I'm so excited from
Oh,
Columbus.
congratulations.
Really excited. I'm excited for a change.
Warmth.
And so, yeah, it's been a really exciting time just with my job and starting the Handle It service. It's like looking back a few years ago, like I would not have pictured this being where I am, like this great job. I'm about to move, creating this whole business because I really was like after graduating college, I had no idea what I was doing. Like applying for jobs was awful. Like I just didn't hear a lot back. And then on top of that, I thought my credit card was just like the worst thing to think, just free money. I was swiping it, just racking up debt. It was pretty bad. I think it wasn't until like I looked at my student loans and I was like, oh, this is this is serious. I need to make some changes. And then my granddad had mentioned something about index funds and like how he was getting dividends from it. I'm like, what is this? What is this you talk of? Passive income? It was just like a new concept to me. So from that, I really started like getting into it a lot, researching, figuring out how to properly spend my money and handle it. And that's when I decided to, well, not at that time, a couple years after that, but that's when I decided like everybody needs to know this. Like this is not very like common for people our age to think like, let's handle money. It's more like, let's go out for weekend trips and I don't know, super irresponsible. Like irresponsible is like the main thing that our generation does at the moment. And so that's why I want to change it. That's why I started this business. I really just want everybody to be successful and not end up super poor like around retirement age. So that's my whole reason for starting this.
I love it. I love it. I love the why. I love your passion behind it. And so was there a moment for you when you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to just talk about it anymore. Or were there several? I mean, do you have any sort of ahas to share?
Well, I listened to this TED Talk because I love TED Talks. They're very motivating. And this lady was like, if you have an idea and you don't act on it like immediately, it's never going to happen. So, and my mom was also really good about starting her own thing. Whatever she like wanted to do, she went for it. So it was really nice having that as like having her as a role model, like inspiration, like, yeah, I can do this, whatever, I'm doing it. So I listened to that TED Talk and then also my mom. And I was like, I have this idea. I'm just going to start it. I'm just going to go for it. So
I love it. I love it. So I'm so grateful you found my Scale Your Side Hustle program. And so what about that program made you know that, this was going to help you bring this idea to life?
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember how I feel like with your email, I'm trying to remember how I got connected with this in the first place. I think it was an email and then you're like, join my Facebook group. And then you like contacted me from that. So after that, I was like looking through the modules and I was like, okay, this is some pretty interesting information. It breaks it down very like easily. It seemed very easily comprehensible. And it seemed like it was a solid plan because I had no idea what I was doing next. At that point, I had the concept, I had my website, I had an Instagram, but it was like a few months of going idle because I had no idea what to do next.
Sure.
So it came out like a really good time. So the steps that were in the modules seemed like they were pretty easy to go ahead. It made it seem like it was possible. I was like, okay, I could do this. So you laid it out pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So it was just broken down in a way that made you really feel like, this isn't just some kind of scary thing, that it's something that you can do and do it kind of quickly.
Right. And it provided like a sense of direction, which is what I was lacking. So
yeah,
we do like website and then we're going to do the digital products and this is how we're going to market it. It just seemed like a very possible thing to do.
And so do you feel like that's come to life for you? Do you feel more confident, in your ability to do this? And are you proud of what you've done? Yeah.
Absolutely. I've come so far, I feel like, since I started.
Yeah, girl.
And like I know I still have like a lot left to do, but at least I know like what I need to do. Like I have a list or like a multiple lists, but like a long way to go, but still like I know this is what I need to do. I got this, this, and this. I got to check off. So way more confident than I was before to begin with.
Awesome. And it's just been incredible to see what you've done in a short amount of time. And your website is designed so beautifully. And I'm just so proud of you. And so I hope you feel that in yourself. And so
Yeah.
I guess on that note, do you feel like there has been a notable difference in having the group element of this program instead of just me giving you or anyone giving you this information in sort of a course form and then you having to kind of do it on your own?
Yeah, I think it definitely held me accountable, and it was really cool seeing, like, having that Facebook group and seeing the progress everybody was making when everybody would post, like, this is what I've done so far, and being able to share what I've done and getting that feedback, it just really made me feel like I was part of something more, and it was definitely way more encouraging, like, okay, if they can do it, so can I, like, she figured this part out, I could do it too. So that was, like, a really good aspect of the whole program in general, so
Awesome.
enjoyed it
And
a
so
lot.
do you feel like your kind of goals for this have, gone up and that you kind of dream a little bit bigger now than maybe you did beforehand?
Yeah, definitely. At first, it was just like, yeah, I'm going to do this and we'll see what happens. It could just be a couple extra dollars, but more of a hobby. But now I'm like, I could do this. I could see other people like like making
Yeah.
money from it. I'm like, oh, this is totally possible. I got this.
Yeah, you're doing it. It's literally happening. Good. And do you feel like this has sort of influenced any other part of your life at all? Do you feel like there's been any personal development with it or anything with your work or any other part of it that's infused over?
Yeah, I definitely will say I just feel stronger in my ability to like get stuff done. Like before, it would just be like, I don't know, I would feel stuck in one spot, like in any aspect of my life. But now, like any obstacle that comes my way, I feel like I can tackle it, like no matter how hard it is, because there's a lot of stuff with building this, like with the
Yeah.
website and like all the technical stuff. I'm like, oh my god, this is too much. But now that I've like done it and it's accomplished, I'm like, oh, I could do anything. Like I got this. If I just put my mind to it and like really just break it down into like step by step, that's really
I love that. I'm
yeah.
so glad that you have felt that transfer over into other parts of your life. I remember feeling the same way after I sort of figured out WordPress. I wanted to just like walk around and tell strangers like, you guys, listen to what I just did. Like
Right.
this was so hard.
Right.
I'm really
Impressive.
smart. Yeah. Exactly. Good. Yeah. Well, I love that, it carries over into confidence in other parts of yourself. And I know for me, a big part of this journey has also been just showing myself that, like, if I want to do something, I will make it happen. I don't, just hope anymore. It's like,
Right.
it's going to happen. So I'm glad that you experienced that. Awesome. And so do you have a favorite part that we haven't already covered or anything that you maybe didn't expect or was a fun surprise or something like that?
My favorite part was definitely the Facebook group, just meeting with the girls, like they're awesome. They were so energetic and so willing to give feedback. That was definitely my favorite part of the whole experience. Um, what was the second part of that question? I'm trying to remember.
I was just wondering if you like had any one favorite thing or something that, exceeded your expectations or anything like that. And it sounds like the Facebook group was your favorite
Yeah,
part. So
definitely.
yeah, yeah, I think I'm so glad you, like that because when you're building something online, it can feel like you're just like on your computer all the time. And so having people that know what you're going through and, not everyone in your day-to-day life will understand. So I'm glad that you got
I
that.
think the program itself, if it didn't have that aspect, I would have felt just a little bit more lonely. It was just so
Yeah,
nice. You know, like, hey, like, what are you doing with this? Like, just so much. So glad
good.
you added that in.
So I'm sorry, my internet might be a little choppy, but okay, I think I heard you. So good. I'm so happy. And yeah, I agree. It was an incredible group of women too this time around. Everyone was so optimistic and positive and really just kind of brings you back into the remembering why you started this and not getting hung up in the challenges that we all will inevitably come with. Okay, awesome, Loren. And so I guess my final question is, would you do it again? Or do you have any advice for someone watching this that might be on the fence about it?
Absolutely, I would definitely do it again. I learned a lot, like a lot of valuable information. My advice would be one, don't, like, I think you said it a lot, like, don't wait till it's perfect, just like get something out there. Like my website right now, it's like not the end goal, but it's just like I need to start like advertising this, getting the word out. So that's one thing, just get stuff out. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then two, something that I kind of still struggle with is don't let like the competition, or like you see somebody doing the same thing that you're doing, don't let that intimidate you, because I mean, you have to start somewhere, and I'm sure where they started wasn't exactly the most perfect thing. But I just, with that, if I see competition of somebody who's doing something similar to me, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing different. This is how I'm coming at it differently, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'll try to make myself different from what they're doing. And I think that really does help with, I don't know, not feeling so like, oh, well, there's no point in doing it because they're doing it already, you know?
Right, right. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I so appreciate it. And I loved having you in the program. And I know that it's not the end for us together.
I'm excited to do more.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Thanks, Lauren.
All right. See you.